What is fundraising? Fundraising is the process of raising money or capital for a business, an organization, or a project. The purpose of the funds is mostly to start, in other cases, is to sustain or grow the business.
Emotional demands are the pressures and expectations placed on you to manage and regulate your emotion in the workspace.
Now, let's go on to tools of speaking. Tools of speaking. Number one, clarity.
When someone is then bringing up an idea or trying to go a direction that is not right, keeping quiet is going to be a disaster for the business.
For social media, how much do we spend on social media? How many customers did we eventually sell to from the people that came from social media? These events that we have been going to every month or every year, how many customers did we acquire in the last 1 year? Is it a profitable channel? Is a channel for lead generation? Is it a profitable channel? Word of mouth. How much did we spend on word of mouth marketing? And how many customers did we get? What is fundraising? Fundraising is the process of raising money or capital for a business, an organization, or a project. The purpose of the funds is mostly to start, in other cases, is to sustain or grow the business.
Emotional demands are the pressures and expectations placed on you to manage and regulate your emotion in the workspace.
Now, let's go on to tools of speaking. Tools of speaking. Number one, clarity.
When someone is then bringing up an idea or trying to go a direction that is not right, keeping quiet is going to be a disaster for the business.
For social media, how much do we spend on social media? How many customers did we eventually sell to from the people that came from social media? These events that we have been going to every month or every year, how many customers did we acquire in the last 1 year? Is it a profitable channel? Is a channel for lead generation? Is it a profitable channel? Word of mouth. How much did we spend on word of mouth marketing? And how many customers did we get?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Okay. Can you hear me? Hi. Can you hear me now, right? Okay. So sorry about the. Can you hear me now? Please, I need you to drop in the chat box if you can hear me. Oh, great. Thank you, the storyteller. Thank you, everyone. So sorry we took your time. We spent so much time today. Okay. Let's just say 30 minutes. You have questions, we answer your question, we are done. Okay. So first of all, I want to welcome everyone. Okay. Thank you so much for joining this evening. Our Embark entrepreneurs, we appreciate you. You see all you do, and we're so glad to have you here. So today, I want to apologize to you. Okay. Um, our guest couldn't make it to the session, right? Our guest couldn't make it to the session, so I'm really sorry that it will just be myself and you today. Okay. She's unavoidably absent. I mean, we tried all we could. So please just bear with us today. But what I want today, I actually have something I want us to talk about, which is how to use tech as an entrepreneur, how to infuse tech into being an entrepreneur. You're a business owner. How do you bring in using tech? You understand? How do you bring that into your business? Okay. So one thing that we do during spotlight session is that we like industry founders. We want them to share their stories with us, and then from their stories we ask questions. So one thing I'm going to do today is also to share my story briefly, and then we can have rooms for questions. So thank you, storyteller. He says apology accepted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to have a good time. Trust me. So let me just get into it because I want us to finish exactly 6 p.m. So when it's 5:40 thereabout, I should be done, and then we can start dropping our questions. And that will be all for today. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, once again. So let me introduce myself. My name is Temitope Olamuegun. And okay, my role in Embark Entrepreneurship Academy, I'm the mentorship lead in Embark Entrepreneurship Academy. And I also work with Mr. Dare to design your curriculum. So I'm a curriculum designer, and I'm also an AI content creator. I'm also a teacher. I'm an author, and I can go on and on. So I do quite a lot of things in the educational, industry, in the educational sector, right? So let me just share my story, like just a part of my story that I feel might inspire someone that is watching this evening. Okay. Please let me take water. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to start with how I started teaching. First off, I started working after secondary school. I started working in a school. So all my life, I've been working in a school. You understand? I'm currently in the UK and I'm still working as a teacher in the UK. You can imagine. I was having this conversation with my friend yesterday, and I was like, is this a ministry for you or something? So all my life it has been being a teacher, right? But I want you to understand that even being a teacher, there's also the business part of it, where you are not just relying on your monthly salary, but you can also make money alongside it. So as business owners that we are, or that we are planning to be, because I believe that some of us, we have not started the business, but we have the ideas. I just want to let you know that this idea that you have that might look small can actually get bigger. Okay, it can get bigger beyond what you can even think of. Do you understand? So, I like I mentioned earlier, I started teaching, and let's just fast forward to after university. I finished from University of Ilorin. I studied linguistics and Nigerian languages. So while I was at 400 level, I started working again. Yeah, I started working as a teacher, and then I was teaching CRS to IGMB and GPEP students, right? So, when you just go to class, you just teach and all of that. So this particular day, I was having a conversation with my students, and then they talked about how the textbook that they are using for the particular course, the textbook is a bit complex, and they told me that they would have loved to have like an abridged version, like something like not like a small book, but a book that is less complex, that will be very easy for them to understand. So while I just thought about, okay, anytime I teach, I take my time to write out notes. You understand? I take my time to do my research, to put my note together. And I just thought about it, that why not turn this note into a textbook? Now, as a business, because as I share my story, I'm going to tailor it to how it affects you as a business owner. Now, as a business owner, that is how idea just come to you. Maybe you're already running your business now, and you're thinking of, what else can I do? How can I expand? You understand? The moment you notice there is a problem, because this problem that I noticed came from that conversation that I had with my student. So I have to think of a solution. So probably you sell shoe, and maybe your customers talked about how their shoe doesn't fit and all of that. Do you know that there are people that when they sell shoe, they sell all these things that they put inside shoe to make it fit in? I don't know what it's called. Then some of them sell these heels for shoe, and you see someone that sells is basically just shoes, right? So that's what I want you to understand, that as an entrepreneur, right, when your customers tell you something, don't just take it like that. You need to be conscious of problems and how you can give solution to that problem. Do you understand? It is very, 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 very important that you listen to what your customers need and try to give solution to it. You get? So after my students, in this particular context, my students are like my customers because I serve them. You get? So when they mentioned that, I started, typing my notes. So initially, that my note was like a notebook. So I started typing in, on my laptop, started putting everything together. So this time around, because I knew that it was going to be a textbook, I had to start doing more research, because normally you can't give a student a large note to copy, right? So now I have to start adding some things to it. At the same time, the problem was that they didn't want it to be complex. So now I had to use simple words. You understand? So you as a business owner, you are thinking of, how can I serve the people in the way that it's actually paying them? You understand? So all these things happen when you reflect and take your time. Not that, oh, I just want money and I just want to keep selling and all of that. You get? So that was how I started typing. And one particular day, my boss just came to the office and he was like, oh, you mentioned that you are typing your notes. Are you done? I said, oh, yes, I am done. And I was like, can I see it? So that particular day, I didn't take my laptop to the office. Because then I was working as a teacher. At the same time, I was working as like a personal assistant to the owner of the school, right? And it was like, go and bring your laptop. That day I had to leave the office. I went home to get my laptop, and he just said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get somebody to publish this book for you, like do the printing and all of that. I thought it was a joke. Like after he checked and he saw that the books were ready, the references, everything, and he just said, okay, I'm going to call someone now. The person came to the office and he said, okay, my assistant has written a book and I want you to work on the printing of the book, the page design and all of that. And it's so, you know, that I didn't even have the money for it, but he said he was going to invest. So the first deposit that we paid, he actually paid for it. He invested into it. That when I started making money, I will pay him back. Now, how does this, what can you gain from this particular story that I just shared with you? What I want you to gain from it is that, see, as a business owner, when ideas come to you, don't just wait. Don't wait till when will this happen. Start taking actions. You understand? Start taking actions, and you don't know who wants to like put money into it. You don't know who is ready to invest into it. But if you don't take action, you won't even know if this is going to be you don't even know if it's going to be a success or not. So whatever idea that is coming to you right now, it's very important that you flesh it out, put it into writing. Think of, okay, what can I do? How can I start implementing this idea that just dropped on my mind? Please, if you have any questions, start penning it down, because exactly 5:40, I'm going to stop I'm going to stop talking, and then I want to answer your questions. Okay, so this is more like us, an interactive session, even though it's through chat, and then I'm talking. So it's very important that you take action. I don't want to know the kind of business you are doing. There's always room for expansion. There's always room for innovation. You have to start thinking at every point in time that, okay, this is going on well now. What else can I do? And you know, the way you can know what to do is by talking to people that you are serving. Those customers that you have, you need to talk to them. Ask them questions. You can be doing monthly review. Let's say now you do bridal hair, or you do makeup, or you sew for like I think it was a lady that said she sews for people, corporate people, ladies or something. I can't really remember, right? You can actually do like monthly review that, okay, I just want to ask you, how am I serving you? Now, this is where tech comes in. And in tech, I'm going to talk about AI now. When you use an AI tool like ChatGPT, different all these LLM AI tools that you can use, you know that you can actually ask ChatGPT to help you design a form. More like questions that you can ask your customers to know if you are serving them well, and to know if there should be a new thing you should bring into the market, no matter who your customers are. Even if you feel my own customers, they are not educated people and all of that, you can ask them questions. And that's how you know you are serving them. You can ask open-ended questions that will make them, open up to you. Like, oh, aside from this thing that I'm doing to you, what other things do you think if I do, or if I'm selling, you are going to buy? When they share stuff like that with you, there are some that you might not be able to like start taking action on them immediately, but at least you have written them down, and you know that, okay, maybe I will start preparing to take action on this maybe in 3 months. You get, so with that, you'll be able to know that, okay, this is what my clients want, this is what my customers want. I hope you are with me. So let us make it like it can be a monthly thing, that every month I'm going to be getting feedback from my client, my customers, to know how I can serve them better. Do you understand? Now, another part of my story that I'm going to share with you. So after we're done publishing the book, I started selling to, then I was in Ilorin, right? I started selling to centers in Ilorin, and then I was making money. But one issue I had then was that they were pricing it so low. Like, when I tell them, oh, this book is worth this price, they will tell me, is it not just a book? So I realized that this Ilorin customer base, they won't pay me what I want. Do you get? So I just thought about, okay, there are other students across Nigeria that are also writing this IJMB JPEP. How can I serve them? So that means I want to increase my market base. Do you understand? So now, as business owner, you should also be thinking of, okay, I've been selling to people in this part of Lagos. How can I get to this other part of Lagos? And thank God for technology. You can brainstorm with ChatGPT that, okay, this is my customer base. I'm thinking of going to although you have to be specific with your prompt. so that you know, so that I don't just give you anything generic. That okay, I'm planning to start selling to so people, or I want to be able to reach out to people. I want to be able to reach out to people in the let's say you've been doing makeup for bright and all of that. Now you want to start doing makeup for people that have events, maybe 24-hour event, and they just want to call you. Now you want to think of how can you reach out to them. So at every point in time, as you're taking those steps, also start thinking of how can I increase my customer base. For example, someone like Rafia that sells protein, right? She knows, okay, I've been selling to wholesalers and all of that. Is that all I can do? There is definitely more. So you need to start thinking of how can I reach out to more people. You get, as much as banks like GT Bank, UBA Bank, they have a lot of customers. They still send their marketers out there to go and market what they are selling, to go and look for people to register with them. That's for you to know that you cannot be comfortable with what you have. You cannot say that, oh, this is I'm selling, at least I'm making 100K in a month, that is good enough. You can't be satisfied. You understand? You can't be satisfied. So one thing I've mentioned today, I mentioned that always think of feedback every month. What can I do better now to serve my customer better? What new idea, what new business can I do? And then the second one that I mentioned, thank you, Joshua, increase market base. Yeah, the second one that I mentioned is that how can I increase my market base? How can I serve more people? How can I reach to more people? Do you get? So, when I thought about reaching out to other students in Nigeria, I just created a YouTube page and I started teaching CRS. You can imagine, Christian religion studies. People, most times when I tell people that I teach religion studies, they're asking me, "Are you serious?" People that are studying religious studies. Yes, because I found out that when I was done with the book, students, undergraduates in Ilorin were buying the books too. Those that are studying Christian religious studies in Ilorin. You can imagine. And my own initial idea was IJMB JUPEP students. So when I started selling on YouTube, I started teaching on YouTube rather. Now I did something. I put my contact that if you want me to teach you one-on-one, you can reach out to me. And then one thing I also did was I was using that textbook to teach. So that with that, there's this curiosity that created in them that they want to get the textbook, that if this person is using textbook, then this textbook is good for me. So because of that, they started reaching out to me that, oh, please, how can I get your textbook? Someone bought from Imo State, someone bought from was it Edo State? Like I can't even remember. Like they were just reaching out to me. So another thing I want to say is that as you are increasing your customer base, also when you are doing your promotions or you are talking about what you sell, put where they can reach out to you and always give value. Two things: give value, put where they can reach out to you. You understand? Because I decided to teach on YouTube. They were not paying me for that. That's value. It's time. I'm giving them my time, and I started. So think of, okay, I make up for people. I'm a makeup artist. What value can I give that can make people trust me? That can make people like me? That can make people know me? You get? So as you're thinking of expanding your base, think of how can see. It's not everything that you get money for. Do you get? It's not everything that you get money for. You need to also give them value. And then as you're giving them value, at every second that you're giving value, sell what you have. Because as I was teaching, I kept on mentioning the textbook. Do you get? And people started reaching out to me. If I told you earlier that right now I'm currently in the UK as teaching, right? As at last week, Monday, someone still reached out to me that he wanted to buy my book. I just connected the person with my distributor in Nigeria. Do you see? Book that I've published since, I think that should be 2020. 2020 or 2021, thereabout. So money keeps coming in. Do you get? So people began to trust you when you give them value, and that's how you continue to increase your market base. Okay. So another thing I also want to talk about is I mentioned earlier that I design curriculum. I'm going to stop now. In 5 minutes, I'm done with my story, and then I can take in questions because I want us to finish by 6. I mentioned earlier that I design curriculum, right? Do you know that? Okay, so the after my NYSC, I just talked about what else can I do. You know, since I'm already working as a teacher, what else can I do to improve myself, to upskill myself? And I decided to go to a college of education to do my postgraduate in education, right? And during that process, I learned curriculum design. You understand? So, you know, when you learn curriculum design, you only know, okay, this is the structure of a curriculum, this is everything that a curriculum should have, these are the elements of a curriculum, right? But what about when people are now reaching out to you from different, for example, now let's say I design curriculum for students that are studying CRS, or for the CRS department of a college, right? What about the English department? So you know what I did? Immediately I was done, after like maybe a few years after, I decided to learn artificial intelligence, the prompting, understanding the language of artificial intelligence, how to use AI for content, how to use AI to do a lot of things to design curriculum. And you know why? Because I design curriculum, but I don't want to just have just one market base. I don't just want to have one customer base. I want to be able to design curriculum for different people. And that's where tech comes in. Remember, I told you that this our conversation is how you as an entrepreneur can use tech properly, can use AI tools to improve what you sell, to improve your work quality. So having taken a course in AI prompting, language and all of that, I started designing curriculum for, the first curriculum I designed was for a tech company, like a tech school, rather. They wanted to train young children on how to code, how to machine learning, different things, right? Cyber security, all of that. And they reached out to me. And of course, I know how to use AI properly. So I told them I was going to do it. Now, what I did was I now have a team of people that understand each of those subjects, like machine learning, cyber security, and all of that. So when I design curriculum, I send it to them. That is where the human part comes in, human part and AI. They check through it, and then they told me, okay, this is good, let us remove this will be able to serve the children, and that was it. So you, now that you understand your business well, you understand your customer base well, when you start using AI, you know what it means. That's you, like, you're going to scale up quickly. So please, it is very important that don't say, oh, me, I'm just a business person, I'm not into tech. No, there's nothing like that. Oh, do you know that because of that, I've been able to like make there's no week that money won't come in, because every now and then I'm thinking of what else can I do, how can I serve people. I already know where I am. I'm in the educational sector. You understand? So every now and then I'm thinking of what else can I do to upskill, what else can I do to make more money, what else can I do to serve more people in this industry, my customers in this industry. Do you understand? So please, if you are the kind of person that you are still struggling, with using AI tools and all of that, this is the time to learn it. In fact, one advice I'm going to give you today, because this is 5:39 and I promised 5:40, so I'm going to stop here. One advice I'm going to give you today is that you can ask any AI tool that you are using, maybe ChatGPT, Copilot, whatsoever, that this is the business that I'm running. I want to learn how to incorporate digital skill to improve this business. What skill do you think I should learn? What course do you think I should take? I don't know if I have to take that again. So that is like your take-home assignment from me. That what course do I need to take to upskill myself so that I can do well in this business, or what digital skill do I need to learn? To some of you, it might tell you to learn content creation. To some of you, it might tell you to learn copywriting. Whatever it asks you to learn, it is very important that you take your time to learn it. Now, one thing I do for people is that I also help them design curriculum. Like, for example, now let's say you want to learn copywriting in a month. I design curriculum for you. Like, okay, this is what you want. So in the curriculum, what I do is what you should learn per day, the platform that you can learn it, how you should learn it, how you should do your reflection. So in 30 days, you at least you would have understand it at the beginner level, and then you can move to the intermediate level. Do you understand? So that's basically what I want to share with you today, that it is very, very important that as business owner in this 21st century, you need to know how to infuse tech into what you do. You can get customers online. When you know how to do that, you have digital visibility. You know how to put your business online. You know how to use WhatsApp. If you know the things you can do with WhatsApp, aside from that, you are chatting with your friends. Those are things that business owners, those are the things that they learn. You know how to use your TikTok. You know how to use LinkedIn. You know, I told someone recently that I got a job recently, and it was actually through LinkedIn. And what happened? I was just sharing my MSc journey on LinkedIn. That was just it. Something, an idea that just came to me when I started my MSc, that why not document your MSc journey on LinkedIn? And I just started doing that. And that was how the QA, higher education, whatever in UK reached out to me. They want me to influence for them. From that, I became the ambassador. So don't say, oh, you are not. In fact, that particular post on my MSc journey does not even get much engagement like that. But I just keep posting because it's an idea that dropped. And the last thing that I will say, oh, I don't like breaking promise, but I need to quickly say this thing to you. One thing I will also say that, see, you cannot ignore the God factor as a business owner. Most of these ideas that dropped, that I shared with you, the ideas that God dropped on my mind, they are not just something that just come to me naturally. So as a business owner, you also need to commit your business into God's hand. You also need to involve God, because God sees all. God knows that you have customer base in Uyo, and He can guide you on how to reach out to them. God knows that you have customer base in so place, and He can guide you on how to reach. In fact, outside Nigeria, across the world, God knows where your customer base are, and He can guide you on how to reach out to them. Do you understand? So please, that's where I'm going to stop today. If you have questions, you can drop a question, because I'm going to go off anytime from now. So please, if you have questions, quickly. Okay. How can I integrate digital intelligence into my business, and what courses can I take? Yeah, so someone just dropped that. So just that's actually the prompt I said you should give to your AI tool, and it will teach you what you need to do. So do we still have questions? I'm trying to read our comments. Okay, so I'm still waiting. So while I wait, for the entrepreneur, I'm also on your group. So if you have any questions, you can drop it on your group, and I will respond to them as soon as I'm available, right? So we need to actually go off in the next 2 minutes. So if I can't see your question, or your questions drop late, please just drop it in your group. I'm also in your group, and then I'll definitely respond to your question. Okay. So I guess I have to like end it at this particular time. So thank you everyone for joining. Once again, I apologize. I apologize that our guest didn't come through, but she will definitely come through as soon as we are able to reach her. So let's say in our next spotlight show. All right. So please, your business can go global from your phone. You have to start posting online. You have to start thinking of what else to do to expand your customer base and every other thing that you should do. And I wish you all the best. Okay. So thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful night. Bye.